Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am BrooklynBelleReads and I'm here doing my January wrap-up. So for the month of January, I decided to join up for STORYGRAPH's January Pages challenges, in which we had to read at least one page per day or listen to at least 1 minute of an audiobook. I was able to complete that for 28 out of the 31 days. And this year I decided to do a seasonal TBR versus a monthly TBR, in which I would pick no more than 7 books for me to read during that time period. So that's from January to mid-March. And the books that I chose were Before I Let Go, The Boyfriend Project, Good Girl, Bad Bud, Ace of Spades, and The Art of Desire. And as you can see, 95% of my books come from my library. So now let's get into exactly what I read in the month of January. So during the first week of January, I picked up a total of 3 books. The second book was Ace of Spades, and I didn't make it very far in this book. I only read the first 13 pages. The story did not grab me like I thought it would. Ace of Spades has been on my TBR since the month of September, and I still really want to read this book, but I don't think it's the right book for me right now. So for now, it's going to be put on pause, and this particular book is going back to the library so someone else could get a chance to read it. But it wasn't the only book in the month of January that I put on pause. Midway through January, one of my Libby app holes came up, and that was for the audiobook of Big Magic. Now I own a used copy of this book. I will link down below my haul featuring this book, but I decided that I wanted to tandem read, meaning read the physical and listen to the audio at the same time. I only got about to the 3rd chapter in this particular book. The story again did not hold me, but I think the problem is that if I'm going to read this book, it has to be the only book that I'm reading in order for me to actually pay attention. The reason why I wanted to do the audiobook is so I can multitask while I was reading the book, but that didn't work out for me. So these are the 2 books that are going to be put on pause, because I still am interested in reading them, but I'm just not going to do it right now. The next book that I started in January but did not finish is a book that I really wanted to read back in December, but I didn't get to it due to other things. And I made it a priority to read it at the top of January, and it's Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I originally had a library book out for this title, and it came due before I could even finish it. I was less than 200 pages to go with completing the book before I had to return it. And I had to end up buying the book if I wanted to complete it. It was a journey for me to get a copy of this book, which I will discuss in a different video, but I was able to get my hands on it. Did not finish it in the month of January, but this was one of the first reads that I was able to finish in February. So I'll let you know more about this book a little later on. So if you notice a pattern here, it looks like I pretty much started every single book that was on my TBR, and that is correct. Towards the end of January, I started another book, which was The Boyfriend Project. I got through a couple of chapters of this book. I will talk more about that in a separate video of how I got there, but I made it to chapter 12. This book did not get finished in January, but it's probably going to be one of the books that I finish in the month of February. So now let's get to the book that I actually finished in the month of January, and that is The Art of Desire by Stacey Abrams, writing as Selena Montgomery. This is a romance thriller, and this is one of the first 3 books that Stacey put out under her pen name, and they are getting new covers. And that's why you see her name in big lettering under, well above her pen name. And I found that out after doing a couple of research. I found that out after doing some research after I finished this book, that they were doing covers for the first 3 of her books, and this is actually a part of a trilogy. I forget which which number book this is, but there's 2 other ones that go along with this particular book. I will be doing a full review of this book in a separate video, but it was an okay read, and I am thinking about trying to get my hands on the other books so I can read them. So that is my January reading wrap up. It was a very all over the place month of reading for me, which led to me completing just 1 book, The Art of Desire. 2 books rolled over into the month of February, which was Before I Let Go, which I officially finished before this video, and The Boyfriend Project, which I believe I probably will finish in the month of February. I paused 2 books, which was Big Magic and Ace of Spade. I still want to read those books. It will come back up sometime later on in the year. I am currently trying to figure out what's going to be my next TBR, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting my channel. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and let me know. Leave in the comments the books that you're currently reading. And once again, thank you for watching my video. And I will see you back here next week. Take care.